Another thing.
Give them the
I'm 1 minute into the video. Are we at like 14 days?
talked about Kitsunero before as well. Obviously, she is the one that
You.
But when you're talking about someone, you could refer to them as he, as she, or as they.
You know what's crazy? To go 14 times they, them for me. And the first time another creator comes up, the first pronoun out of your mouth is she. You think we don't realize that? You think we don't understand what is happening? What's we talking about? So initially we were talking about why using they, them can be read as, you know, being transphobic or like othering trans people. If you like exclusively do it for trans people and not necessarily for like you don't switch around, you know. I had 3 chances for intimacy in my earlier life and I never went through because the thought of being the male part in it made me queasy. Honestly, same. I could never imagine myself being, you know, having any form of intimacy as a man. It wasn't opposed to intimacy. It was just like the dysphoria. And I also didn't want to be like in a gay relationship as a man because, you know, then I would be in a gay relationship with a man as a man, which also doesn't work. They, them, if you know the person's pronouns, is still misgendering, just like saying he, him to someone that's she, her. Yeah, like, you know, sometimes I do switch around, you know, I do switch around between like pronouns, sometimes using they, them, and so on. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't feel bad if you like use they, them for a trans person. It's just if you like continuously do it, but you don't do the same for cis people, it can feel the kind of thing is just off the table for me. I've accepted it. I felt like this too, and then I had bottom surgery. Being they, them, but you hurt people. Yeah, exactly. To basically be like, well, you're other. You're not, you know, you're a trans woman. You're not a real woman. So we use like they, them. Because you haven't earned the she, her by being born female. So you didn't earn the privileges of being gendered correctly. Yeah, I misgendered you intentionally, but you were mean and that's worse. Exactly. I saw that with Okko a while ago. You know, like initially Okko called me she, her, referred to me with she, her pronouns, and then we had like our talk. And afterwards, I was like still criticizing Okko. I was still criticizing her. And then I got like they, them, and then I kept doing stuff that like made Okko upset, and then I got like straight up he, him. But I think we kind of like talked it out, you know. We're yapping a little bit, and it's casual. So I don't hold any crutches. I do appreciate it if you know, people reach out to me, even if I still have issues with them, even if I like still criticize them for what they do. The moment he talked about is this woman, he used she. Yeah, exactly. That was like the first pronoun used for someone. It didn't even cut like anything in between. I just like straight up jumped to the first pronoun. Misgendering as retaliation is so terrible. Yeah. It's like the more you're getting on the bad side with someone, the more they turn to misgendering. Yeah. And it just like shows that they never like saw you as, you know, who you are in the first place. If you want to know how allies perceive the trans women they like, just look at how they treat the trans women that they dislike. Also, defending that dude is kind of cringe. Yeah, he's clearly being transphobic, just so you know. Which guy? Kasahana, lost child that only gets likes on Twitter because he posts porn. The person calls all the people he talks about they. Did you watch the clip? Do we have to bring up the clip? You think I would like make this allegation without any backing? You think I would just like call everybody transphobic? She's back. She's back. They are done. Plural. Multiple people. She's back. She's done. They lied. Plural again. She needs help. They are done. Plural again. Multiple people. They are done. Just me. So it's deliberate. That is what I'm calling out. When he was misgendering Nyara, he was literally looking at her Twitter, which has her pronouns visibly on it. Yeah, exactly. I do not make these claims without any basis.
if we literally go through their Twitter timeline,
Another they.
they tweet
Another they.
a lot, and obviously
I added
stuff
the
they tweet
dings, by
about
the
quite
way.
a lot.
Another they.
Give them the
I'm 1 minute into the video. Are we at like 14 days?
talked about Kitsunero before as well. Obviously, she is the one that
Fuck you! There's a video about you by... I have no idea who it is, but they are marked as transphobic, and it's probably like literally the same stupid fucking shit
Nyara VT. Oh, do I hate your guts. Now,
Why do they also like always add like the VT? It's so
before we talk about
unnecessary.
anything, let me be clear. I am not transphobic or anything. Before y'all comment some stupid shit like that, I'm not transphobic. Why am I targeting this creator? Doesn't have anything to do with trans. She's just f***ing retarded.
Oh? Okay, that's kind of based.
Sorry, they. Because they
Okay, never mind.
get very mad at being called they for some reason. For
Oh my god.
context, a little bit ago, Nyara VT was called out by Kitsunero. It says here, hey, at Nyara VT, I know that my latest video of me reacting to someone who insulted me blew up.
Yeah.
Thumbnail. I never met
Okay.
Nyara
Oh,
channel.
okay.
Oh,
There we
like,
go.
She just didn't say that. And then my friend Kazahana on his second channel, more Kazahana, made a video called VTuber Melts Down Over Creators Supporting Men. And Nyara saw this. And in this video, Kazahana calls Nyara them or they, like any other person would. Like if I make a video about like Johnny Somali, if I'm talking about him, I'll be like, there they go again, you know?
If I'm talking about him, I'll be like, there they go again. You can't make this up. These people just want to, you know, push the idea that like we are just paranoid. We're thinking too much about it. We're just triggered little snowflakes. They think that like we can't tell when it comes to like intentions and so on.
Type shit. And Nyara wasn't happy about it and had to twist this and make this about her f***ing being trans. Somehow. It's all about
It is. That's the problem. What is the difference between me and Kitsunero just when it comes to like gender? I don't mind if people use they them for me as long as they like fucking switch it up sometimes. Is he so angry? I don't know, because triggered little snowflake soy right type
about being trans, guys. That's her whole f***ing personality.
I have to make it my whole personality. If a lot of people make taking our rights away their whole personality.
As you can see here, if you ever wonder why trans women get upset when you use they for them despite us literally being women, here's a prime example with this video attached to it.
Let's see how often I get degendered and just get called they and just like referred to by name, whereas he doesn't do it to other creators like
A
Kitsu.
person called Nyara VT. Now I covered them
That's the first they.
what we covered them for was the fact that they were of them essentially saying, and they were very with their videos, and I think it's kind of funny to see because again, you know, they
Another they.
how much, you know, they tweet
Another they.
and how much they
Another they. At least he's playing the full clip.
kind of post and get away with because a lot of the stuff they post is
Another they.
very inflammatory. I mean, you know, if we literally go through their Twitter timeline,
Another they.
they tweet
Another they.
a lot, and obviously stuff they tweet about quite a lot
Another they.
give them the
I'm 1 minute into the video. Are we at like 14 days?
talked about Kitsunero before as well. Obviously she is the one that
Fuck you!
Bro, I'm gonna be so f***ing for real with y'all. I was eating food, right? I was f***ing eating my f***ing fries and onion rings, and I saw this on my timeline, on my Twitter timeline, and I was geeking the f*** out, bro. This pissed me off so much. How are you making this about gender, bro?
Because it literally is. Because it literally is. His editing is giving me a migraine.
How are you making this about gender? No, guys, you gotta understand. You gotta understand. In these videos, when you're talking about someone, I can't believe I have to explain this, but when you're talking about someone, you could refer to them as he, as she, or as a they.
You know what's crazy? To go 14 times they, them for me, and the first time another creator comes up, the first pronoun out of your mouth is she. You think we don't realize that? You think we don't understand what is happening? We can call out this bullshit because like we are constantly like enduring that. I have people be like, well, you know, you're not like a real woman. You don't sound like a real woman, so it's really difficult for me to use she, her pronouns for you. I experience that daily, you know? No matter how hard I try, it will just never be good enough. That is like the problem. But sometimes it's not me not trying hard enough. It's just other people being pieces of shit, disingenuous pieces of shit, and I just call it out, right? I think it's my right to call it out. Like, you can brush it off and you're like, oh, this triggered little snowflake is just, you know, whining about gender-neutral pronouns. They are gender-neutral for a reason. No, it's about the othering. That is the problem. It's not the gender-neutral pronouns per se. It is the othering. Do not be included with women. you know? Then you rightfully call it out and you're the one who's bullying and starting it. Yeah. Getting mad at me for calling out someone's microaggressions and like, you know, the underlying transphobia of it and like spotlighting it because so many trans people can relate to the othering, the degendering. It just sucks, you know?
What?
It's about intent, and the intent is clear if you have a heart. Yeah.
No, you got Aithoma, you got him. No. When you're talking about someone unconsciously, you'll go either what they're like are, like a male or female, or you'll say they.
Yeah, so I'm neither, I guess. I love when people just prove my point in their video where they get upset at me.
I do this too. Tectone does this too. Sensitive.
You're just listing a bunch of transphobic people who don't perceive me as a real woman and they other me in order to hurt me and attack me. You're literally just naming all of those stupid f***ing assholes who went after me and being transphobic. That's like this one guy being like, well, there are some experts who disagree with trans people. They're like sitting in Russia and like Hungary. It's like, that is your example? Tectone does this too. Tectone does a lot of things.
Society does this too. More Pegasus does this. WestJet does this. Everyone does this. As you can see here, Kazana even pulled up with proof. It says
everyone is a they. He doesn't do it to other creators. Okay, so here's some clip from some of my recent videos of me using they for other creators. Wow, that's not the point. That's not the point. You doing it sometime for others and not switching around when it comes to me. That is the problem. That is why we are all in this mess. I didn't cut out you accidentally calling me she, her or something. Notice how he's not like, well, actually, if you look the video further, you're going to see that I refer to you with she, her pronouns. You're not doing that. You're just like, well, look at the other people. I call they, them instead of their preferred pronouns. Like, I didn't even continue watching the video because I know for a fact there's not going to be an instant where you're actually going to refer to me with she, her pronouns because you don't view me as a woman. And that's transphobia. Of course I'm going to make it about gender because that is the only difference. It's the only difference between me and Kitsu when it comes to this aspect is we are women. I'm just a trans woman and she's a cis woman. And that is like the deciding factor whether or not I'm going to get she, her by people like you. That is the whole fucking point of this. How stupid do you think we are when it comes to this? Hello? Like, why should I continue listening to this video? Like, you use she, her for me. And you also use they, them. So you switched around. That's completely fine. I have no issues with that. It's just like continuously doing it and then trying to like argue that it's not based on transphobia. Like, f you. It's just disingenuous. It's just being disingenuous and trying to like gaslight me into believing that like, actually you perceive me just how I want to be perceived. I am part of the girls. You're trying to like push the idea that you're actually like supportive because you don't outright misgender me. The absolute fucking audacity. That is crazy. Why should I continue watching this? I guess thanks for showing me this, but like, you know, it gets better. Oh my god.
Doesn't do it to other creators. Okay, so here's some clips from some of my recent videos of me using they for other creators. It's simple English language with this clip attached to it.
When they first started out, and if you don't know who Zentrail is, obviously they're the one with the TTS voice, and they don't actually.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry I like insinuated that that you were being transphobic. Oh no, you called another creator also they? Is there going to be a different clip where you said they? Not the gotcha he thinks it is. No, it isn't.
Actually use their real voice. The fact they're kind of partnering up with a really big company being Omocat, Yubari Ray, and they seem to be, you know, making new content, doing.
Is that it? Just like a compilation of you using the word they for other people? Show a clip of you saying she, her to me in the same video that you uploaded. I'm not going to continue watching like your video to prove my point. But I think the reason why you showed, oh, other people are going to get called they as well, is because you don't have a clip of actually saying she, her to me. I've seen degendering in a language without gender pronouns. To do it, you have to pick really specific words you wouldn't generally use. That's crazy. Who says PR consultant, pirate software? Real. Real. I did nothing wrong. Look, you're just not understanding my ways. Okay, you said it's going to get better.
A debut live stream, which is actually coming up very, very soon. And it seems like they are fully getting back.
Oh my god. Using they them for someone else. I should be on my knees that you're not actually calling me he him, right?
Into VTubing, but they've been very less vocal about it ever since the interview with Paper Bag Boy.
And somehow, this bitch, Nyara
I kind of want that as a soundbite.
VT, made it about being trans. I can't
It is.
emphasize.
Notice how like they're not actually like engaging with like the argument in of itself, and it's instead they're just like deflecting.
This part enough. I have no problem with trans people.
Yeah, you do.
Right? No problem. I have a
I doubt it.
problem with this person specifically. They're beyond retarded, bro. They're calling other people pick-me's because they're showing light to something that hasn't been shown light to for years. They're saying people are misgendering just because they use the word they, and oh.
No. It's not because they use they. It's because they exclusively use they when talking about a trans person and not doing the same, like exclusively using they them for cis people.
Wait until I call out the hypocrisy of this, right? Because in her own replies,
Oh yeah, you got me. You got me. Notice how in the video I said he. The thing is also like in this context, I was also like talking in general because Kazahana is not the only one who does that. Tectone and whatnot, they are doing the same. That is why I was using they, because it's like more like in general and not like him only specifically. Like in the video itself, I said he, him. Doesn't mean I will never use they, them for, you know, cis people. Obviously I do.
her own fucking replies, she said to this person, it's just so blatant obvious what they're doing.
Yeah, plural. In general, all of the people who are doing that in this way.
Hell the f nah, you dumb bitch.
I need more people to call me a dumb bitch because I need more alerts. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Hell nah. Brother, there's no way you're complaining about someone calling you they and then doing that exact same thing. The hypocrisy is crazy. What the? And this guy said at that point they avoid misgendering so they can't get called out, Lamau. And she said constantly using they, them for me is misgendering. Well, Nyara, newsflash, buddy. No one gives a what you say. You're probably
Why not?
view and like botting your fucking tweet.
Yeah. I'm viewing like botting. A lot of people agree with me. I must be like botting. Do you know that like last year I had like 300 followers? Must be bots. Are we bots? I think everybody here is a bot. Oh god.
Tweets. Because I'm gonna be honest, there's no way you gain 20,000 followers making these dumb takes.
I mean, you got 12,000 subscribers on YouTube making stupid takes, so you know, a lot of people exist. Body is so irritating. Oh my god.
Your whole personality is you being trans.
You have never watched my streams.
And let's be honest, a real trans person, a real gay
A real trans person. So you're like othering me from trans people? Oh, okay, wait. You're going to say that like a real trans person doesn't care about pronouns? A real trans person doesn't care about politics? A real trans person doesn't care about like rights being taken away? A real trans person is the one that is like staying in the closet and hiding away and being as quiet as possible so you don't have to like acknowledge their existence. Is that what you're going to say?
person, someone that's really LGBT, would not make that their whole personality. That is the
You know, that's like the thing when like a gay man is like being more feminine and they paint their nails and you know, they're a little bit more flamboyant, then it's like suddenly their whole personality. But you just make your whole personality being an asshole on the internet, and I think that's worse.
same as a straight guy making that their personality. Oh, I'm straight. Oh, I'm straight. Oh, I'm straight.
You don't have to when it comes to like fighting for rights and speaking up and like dismantling transphobia and talking about these things. Because you're straight, you're not losing your rights. Like, a lot of white people make it their whole personality to be like racist, and then, you know, turn around and they're being like, well, but white people are actually like discriminated against because we can't say anything we want. You're actually privileged because there aren't any rules, there aren't even DEI things that include white cis men. So actually, you're actually like the privileged. The reason why we have to be vocal, why we have to speak out, is because we're losing our rights. We're being othered. We're being ostracized. Keir Starmer being like, go ban trans people. Trans people need to be banned from single-sex spaces. We gotta get rid of the trans people. 0.6% of the population, billionaires fund this culture war, and we can't speak up because then we are being vocal and we make it our whole personality. Fuck you, I refuse to go back into the closet and hide and be seen as like one of the good ones that is like appealing to people like you.
I don't think you would be very fond of that, would you? Like, be creative. Your whole personality is, I'm trans. Good for you. No one cares.
I'm also a bottom.
The f***? You're just shitting on people relentlessly for no fucking reason. Making
I have a lot of reasons.
stupid takes that don't make fucking sense.
You not understanding my takes doesn't mean that they're stupid. It just means that you aren't competent enough to like actually engage with them in a meaningful way, and you just like dismiss them because it's something that you can't relate to.
For no reason. You're calling people pick-me's. You're saying people misgender. For what? Like, you've called out other creators before for no reason. Like,
Who?
are you nah. I'm not, you know what? I'm not even gonna proceed, right? I'm not even gonna proceed because I could say words, but
This video goes on for 2 more minutes.
I could be turning into Leafy right now. I could full on go in. Like, bro, I'm gonna be honest. People like,
It's crazy how upset I make this person just because I say that like, hey, it's kind of shitty to like constantly use they them for me, exclusively use they them for me, and the moment another creator comes up to use she. That is what makes you upset. Like, can we just like talk about that for a second? Do we need to like talk about feelings and like anger? You're going to like punch a hole in the wall because a trans woman on the internet said words that you don't like connect with, and you just like turn so angry and you ball up your fist? Like, I'm sharing why I feel the way that I do, and like I point out the problems that I do, and you just like dismiss it for what? To get like, I don't know, 1,000 views or something eventually?
this deserve to be fucking bullied. I can't lie. I can't fucking lie. Like, I don't care. She's a fucking bitch. Sorry. They're a bitch. And the only reason I said they is because you don't fucking like it. If you're gonna be annoying as shit, let me be annoying as shit too. And yes,
I don't care if you use it in general. It doesn't affect me. It's just like, you know, the dichotomy of like these two things, right? And like being, hey, I'm going to like use different pronouns for you because you don't like them and you're pissing me off. That's kind of transphobia. Why are you this mad? Is it because I made fun of your body? Like, come on. I see what's happening.
yes, you haven't done to me. That doesn't change the fact that I'm pissed off looking at this shit.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm going to turn this into a video and post it on Friday or something, and then we're going to like see these people crash out more. It's so funny.
And let's be honest, you went after one of my friends.
Yeah, go protect your homies. The thing is, like, he made 2 videos on me, and I just like called it out. Actually, your friend went after me, and when I pushed back just like slightly, you know, just like the tiniest little bit of pushback, you're going to get in like rage and defense mode. It's like, he punched you first, maybe, but you pushed back, so I'm going to beat you up. Why are you whining like this?
I'm gonna
Come
defend
on.
one of my fucking friends, okay? The only people you'll get behind you is people either equally or more than you. Yara also tweeted out saying, okay, stop pretending trans people don't see what you're doing if we're the only one who get referred to exclusively with they, them pronouns. If it isn't what we prefer. You switch between she, they. For me, I'd never call it out. But this is obviously to other me. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
To quote-unquote other you. I'm gonna be honest, I've never even heard of the term other someone.
Yeah, because you're not trans. You're not part of the community. You don't have our lived experience, and you don't have like the capability to actually, I don't know, hear us out.
reason people say they
Like, you get, like, extremely mad. Notice that I use the word exclusively, which is, like, a big difference.
is because 1, it's easier, and 2, it's probably the first thing that came to mind.
14 times in a row, and then calling, you know, someone else she. The first thing that came to mind. The first thing that came to mind for me, a trans woman, is they. And for a cis woman, it's she. What was the first thing that came to mind? It's just easier. It's crazy how they literally prove my point with the things that they are saying. It's so funny. How can you not, like, you had to actually record this. You probably wrote a script about it. Maybe. I don't know what your workflow is, but you had to edit it. You had to watch it multiple times. You heard the things that you said. You edit footage to it. You at least watched it like 3 or 4 times. And you still posted it and thought you had like a good take here. Really?
Fine, right? And let's be so fucking for real. The reason we say they to trans people.
Oh my god. SB, they saw 500 bits.
People most of the times is because we don't want to offend them and call them the wrong.
So you're offending me and calling me the wrong pronoun because I got my preferred pronouns over here. A long time ago, I actually made a tweet that kind of blew up, you know, but I guess it was spotted. So, take that with a grain of salt. It's 16,000 likes, 200,000 views. I go by she, her. They aren't my preferred pronouns. They aren't something I need to earn. They're just my fucking pronouns. They're making a strawman argument that makes no sense. Yeah, it's like, you're not trans. You don't know what it feels like. You don't have, like, your identity constantly be invalidated and people moving the goalposts and stuff like that if you, like, meet them halfway. And now you're just getting upset at me for calling it out, which is kind of crazy if you think about it.
Pronouns. We're trying to be nice, but since
You're not being nice. You're not being nice by not using my preferred pronouns.
you want to be a bitch, I'm gonna be honest, I'll just be offensive to you. I don't care. I don't care. I'll call you he. I'll call you they. I'll call you she. I don't.
If it makes you happy, call me he. You know, at least then you can't pretend that you actually respect trans people. At least then you can't be like, well, I'm using gender neutral pronouns. We're trying to be nice, and then as soon as they get called out, they throw off the mask and instantly go transphobic. Yeah, exactly. You're unloading on me because I did something that you didn't like.
I don't care. You're a bad human anyway. Why would I care? You don't respect others, so you're not gonna get respect from anyone. If you
Who do I not respect? I still respect Kitsu's pronouns. I still respect Rosie's pronouns, Kirsch's pronouns, you know? I feel like that's like the lowest level, the bare minimum of human decency. You know, like, imagine you just like kept insisting on using a different name for me in order to, like, I don't know, insult me or something. That is what it feels like when you use different pronouns for me. It's just like using a separate name, talking about a completely different person. It's just kind of weird. So my pushback is zero respect. What is this dude smoking? I don't know. It's very angry. This is rage posting. Do you think that's like actually a good post? Bro got absolutely dog walked by that Rob. Reason Yara does this is to victim farm.
actually showed respect and were kind to other people and didn't call them out for no reason, people would be nice to you and respect you.
I have to submit to the whims of fascists in order to get like a basic form of treatment. Do I have to be like the next Blair White? Do I have to be the VTuber Blair White in order to get gendered correctly by right-wingers? Is that what you want? Is that where we are heading? I think Yara's a great person and wonderful fox lady.
But no one f***ing cares about you. No one respects you. A lot of
You said that already.
people don't like you. And you're not
I know. That's just how it goes if you're trans. and you have a mouth. I luckily have a mouth and I must scream.
not gonna make them like you more by doing this bull.
Do you think I want to appeal to people like you? All my fucking life, I tried appealing to people like you, and do you know what happened? I wanted to fucking kill myself. Never again. I'm done. I'm so done of people like you dictating how I need to behave in order to gain a bare minimum of respect. Fuck off. Thank you for the sound bites. I will edit that and, you know, have like new alerts calling me a dumb bitch. Because you're right. I'm a dumb bitch. Everybody hates this bitch. Merch drop soon.
Everybody